Yeah, I forgot. Is this like a drinking game? Like, do
No,
I
just
drink?
Just because it's fun.
Yes, it is now.
Just drink because you hate yourself like I do. Hey, Joe. Welcome back.
Yeah, thank you.
Episode 19. And what movie are we covering?
This direct-to-video movie, not a lot of coverage. Avengers Endgame.
And what wonderful test do we have for everyone?
Using things old and new. Brought back the weird toxic clay. Little balloon stuff because they're fun. But mostly, using the giant art jar, we are going to have to build in any way that we see fit. Whatever MCU character we would like to create. Whether it be a bust, an entire figure, maybe just a foot.
The only limitation is your imagination.
Yeah. We got a doily. We got a lot of googly eyes. We've got a lot of pointless stuffing.
Nice.
Which is actually apparently most of the jar. As always, I am Joe. You're a drunk nerd. I'm drinking drinks.
I'm the sober nerd. Nick, I'm drinking Dr. Pepper.
And the other people in the house.
We have Kim from Geek Prime. We have Sal from the Sparrow Film Project.
And
every comic book movie ever. Rent.
Which ironically I was editing when we did our Infinity War video last year.
And of course, Chris has joined us once again to offer directorial insights on things.
Yeah, it's good to be had.
Cheers to you, gentlemen.
Cheers.
Cheers us all. There we go. Two Endgames. Two Endgame. Let's time this mess. Also, just to remind everyone, we're covering every single spoiler.
Yeah.
All the spoilers, Joe.
in all fairness, I think by the time that we actually get this online, 73% of the planet Earth will have already seen this film, so there's not much to spoil.
Oh, wait. No, you're going to injure a dog.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Just...
One sad tear.
I just want to start right away and tell Joe, I told you so. How did I tell you so, Joe?
Iron fucking pepper.
I was so excited when Iron Pepper showed up on the scene.
I actually screamed out in the theater. She finally shows up at the end. I actually went, no!
But the scene of them fighting back to back was actually really cool.
Yeah, it was one of the coolest.
Yeah. Pepper went from being really useless to like being an amazing badass.
She
really
was running
fast.
Stark Industries.
I would argue that there's a big difference between running a multi-international corporation and knowing ninjutsu. Maybe she made a really detailed post about it on Gloop. Or what's her?
Gloop.
So does anyone want to start with anything?
The opening was literally a cold-ass opening.
I believe I called exactly that's how it was going to
I
start.
think I think we all agreed.
Something had to turn him.
I distinctly remember us being like, yeah, that's what we said.
I knew it was going to happen, but I didn't know they were going to open with that. That was cold.
It seemed like the perfect way to open things, just to show how devastating it was for literally half the planet. That got me, like, right off the bat, everyone's all like, oh, what are we in for the next 3 hours? And then immediately after that, Ant-Man comes back, thanks to a rat.
Yeah.
Okay.
The rat's the real hero.
Perfect. Yes.
That rat
the real hero.
That rat defeated Thanos.
That's it. You nailed it. We're done. We're done.
That's one thing that kind of bugged me. That was one of the things. I was like, the whole thing rested on a rat. So they subverted expectations in a good way. In the trailer, you think Hawkeye's going to have the worst haircut. If they would have done Brie Larson, like, shaved the side, like in the comics, and really did it, like, short, cool, but it was a wig, and it looked weird. But double subverted expectations, because I thought, now that's going to be the worst haircut. And then Anthony Mackie's Falcon short, high line beard
my God, yes.
was so goofy looking.
It was so distracting because I know that was like such a huge moment, and I was like, your barber cut it wrong. This is a very important moment for you.
You went way too high, and you look like an idiot.
Like his jawline was clearly an inch below.
Hey, Black Captain America, guys.
I'm excited for the next sort of phase.
On the note of diversity, I think maybe we saw the MCU's first homosexual character.
Yes. Joe Russo
played him. I thought that was cool. That made me warm and fuzzy.
So how about how fast and brutally they kill Thanos?
I'm not a comic book guy, right? So I wasn't thinking like, oh, it could be this villain or this villain. I'm just kind of like, great. Now who's going to be the bad guy for this movie?
What's going to happen, yeah.
Right? And it turned out to be Thanos.
Which didn't really follow the comics at all. This movie,
yes.
Infinity War sort of followed it. Endgame, nothing. It made their own thing. Kim, like, you're the comic expert. Like, Endgame, was there anything that
There
followed
was
it?
nothing. No. So that's what made Endgame so awesome for me. Is because like I don't know what's happening.
Idea what's gonna
I was like I was with everybody else in the crowd going like, I I can't believe it. Oh my god. Like, that was me the entire time. And I read the comics like twice now.
Well, see, and that's so much fun because, like, if you're a hardcore fan of the comics, you still are on the edge of your seat in the film because you literally have no clue what's going to happen. I mean, that last battle was like...
That last battle was nuts!
And where Captain America is standing in front of Thanos and he's pretty much given up. You just see it in his eyes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then he gets the radio thing from Falcon saying on your left, and then the f***ing sparks appear.
That was great.
Everyone's just,
Awesome.
Oh, here it comes.
Awesome.
It's gonna be great.
So was that your favorite part of the movie?
Absolutely. And like you see every character from all the films come and they just...
Oh, I mean, like,
it was about epic reunion.
I know, like Valkyrie on the Pegasus, like everyone came in. Like,
Where was that Pegasus?
Where'd she get that
I want to know where that Pegasus came from.
It just seemed like there was way too many jokes. After Cap fights himself, which was really cool, and then he says, "That is the ass of America." I was kind of like, "All right, come on, let's
didn't need
move."
to say that.
It's the second act. We're traveling through time. There's a lot going on. Like, just get the stones and get the f*** out.
Hold on.
Did you notice in that scene there was what I call the Martha moment? The little picture of Peggy rolls out, and he's like, "Wait, you know Peggy too?" I'm like, "Come on!"
And I love the Hail Hydra thing.
Quick question: at the funeral, there's like when they're panning across everyone.
I know what you're gonna say, and I know the answer.
So there's a guy standing by himself that looks like Andrew Garfield. Who is that?
That's the kid from Iron Man 3 that helps him like rebuild his
Rebuild.
suit. Yeah, Ty Simpkins.
Big Ty Simpkins fan.
We haven't at all talked about two really important things, which is New Hulk.
I
right?
freaking loved Inner Peace Hulk. Not only do I love him as a character, but CG-wise, he was great.
And then
man.
the best kept secret in any movie
Let's
ever,
say
Fat Thor. The smart Hulk was like leaked a little bit in toys, but Fat Thor was on no one's radar.
Good job, Joe.
Help me, sister. We can defeat Thanos together.
I just want to take a minute to talk about how awesome it was when the women of the MCU lined up.
That was my favorite moment.
Yeah,
that
it was
was
great,
getting
but it was
formation.
I
was
liked
nice.
it and also felt it was pandering a little bit.
Do you guys
fucking
want to know
great.
why that was my favorite part? They're kind of like hinting at the A-Force, but like it's not going to happen because Captain America, blah, blah, blah. They had some of the people there. Like they had Valkyrie, they had Rescue.
funny you should
Maybe I get
mention
the
Valkyrie.
A-Force.
Yeah.
There you go.
Nice. A fun fan theory I've created. When right before Hulk puts on the glove, what does he say? That there's a lot of gamma radiation coming off of this thing, right? He's like, I'm made to do this, blah blah blah. So if we decide that all the Infinity Stones together in a glove being used is a lot of gamma radiation. That glove, the Infinity Stones, are used 3 times on Earth. Arguably, like that's a pretty high concentration in one specific place. Would you say that maybe that would cause mutation?
Like a lot of little Hulks coming out?
Right.
Or maybe a lot of
Like
X-Men coming out. I know Kevin Feige's even said that like it's going to be a few years before they touch the X-Men.
I thought it was Feige.
Everyone says it's different. I thought it was Feige. I've heard Phage.
I heard
Feige.
Phage. Yeah,
like
I heard
beige.
Phage.
Yeah.
But long story short, he's said that it's going to be a few years before they get to another X-Men movie. But I think this is how
Right.
it's going to the radiation takes a few years to set in. People start, and then like weird crap starts happening. That's what I've determined over the last 48 hours.
So, what do we think changed for Captain America between the first time he tried to pick up the hammer?
I mean, he was carrying the weight of, like, the lie that he knew Bucky killed Tony Stark's parents. You know, that getting off his chest. I don't know. I mean, that's me reaching.
I mean, I would even say, like, once you go full arc, that, like, you know, once you get into Civil War and you had to, like, leave what he stood, you know, like, to stand for something, he had to leave it. He had to go through more of an arc and become more of a person to be worthy of it.
I feel like this was the most interesting I've seen Black Widow in any of the films. It actually convinced me that she could carry a whole film, like, by herself.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all. I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
So accurate.
Oh, okay. So why did Nebula's eye start, like, giving surveillance
They
randomly?
share the same network.
All right, Nick.
Well, yeah, they explained it, I think.
Yeah,
Whatever
but why
network.
did it happen? She glitched?
Her
Like,
Bluetooth
Yeah.
was, like, on the fritz.
I didn't understand why she's just, like, chilling and all of a sudden, like, her just happens. Like, that was convenient.
Oh, because the plot requires it. Plot device.
No, that's totally fine. I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything.
No.
I have a question sent in from one of our viewers/guests, from John. He asks, how did Thanos travel without the pin particle?
Time travel? He stole a pin particle.
No, but Nebula only had one on her, and she used it to come back with the other Avengers.
And then once she got to the present time, she did some fingering to the console. And
That's how. She
that,
did some fingering to the console.
That somehow
Oh, I
No,
guess.
negated the need for
But you
the...
physically need the pin particle.
Yeah.
Right, good question,
I'm
John.
glad she did, because it resulted in a very epic battle.
Thank God for that and that rat.
Yeah.
Speaking of Uruz and Thor's hammer, here's another big plot mistake. If Thanos had to go to the only place they can make this thing that can handle the Infinity Stones. They have to go get Dinklage to make it in the heart of a dying star and have him make it, and then kill all of the dwarves so that no one else can have a thing like that.
And then Tony Stark
and then
knocks it off in a weekend.
And Tony's like, Stark Tech. and Thanos has arguably like more advanced technology than Stark Tech in probably a lot of ways because Stark Tech.
This goes back to what I keep saying, that one of the problems with Iron Man and Stark is that they've taken his technology to the point of magic.
He could do anything.
I'm not even glad they killed him just for the sake of the story. But as far as like what he keeps doing with technology, like he figures out time travel over a weekend. I was wondering, like, which relates to this and not, but you know, with Captain Marvel and now this movie, I'm interested to see what they're going to do with Carol, because she is so ridiculously powerful that like, what villain is she going to face?
The barber.
But she just happened.
I was like,
a long time.
I thought that was an actual villain.
yeah, no, me too. I was like, wait, welcome back.
Welcome back. Hey guys, I am Iron Man.
Oh, that's good.
Unfortunately.
That's good.
No, I'm not happy with how
get
it
it.
came out.
It looks like Bender, but Iron Man.
It looks more like Red Kick-Ass.
That's what I was going for, actually. Let's talk about instant kill Spidey.
Yeah.
He was just...
So good.
and he's like, I don't know what's happening, but it's working pretty good.
We can talk about
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But my question is, be like, can you imagine that, like, Tony Stark, who keeps, like, acting like, you know, Peter Parker is basically his son. You know what? Let me put in an instant kill function for this 16-year-old suit.
And he knew about it.
And he knew about it.
Yeah.
How did he know about it?
It said it in Homecoming.
Yeah, it was a callback from Homecoming.
And
he
Xander,
never actually used
you
it.
just farted
I'll tell you one thing he had in that
Yes.
suit. Tony Stark put a parachute in that suit, but he did not put a parachute in the suit for his best friend that flies.
No.
Fair, fair.
There might have been the systems were down, so it couldn't deploy.
How do you think he learned to put the parachute
There you go.
He made that suit before War Machine went down in Civil War.
No, Civil
Second
War
Spidey
before the
suit?
Iron Man, before the Iron Spider suit.
No, but the parachute was in his original suit, Spider-Man's original suit.
Oh, in
he uses it
Homecoming.
in Homecoming.
Homecoming is after,
Oh, you're
Homecoming
right,
is
yeah,
after
yeah.
Civil War.
Yeah, but he has the same suit he had in Civil War.
Hold on. The suit that had the parachute was the new one he got in Infinity War.
When did he use the parachute?
No.
When he was going up to the ship.
No, he never used
No,
a
he
parachute.
didn't use a parachute.
No parachute deploys in the new suit. Doesn't happen.
Wait, what?
The Iron Spider suit?
It deploys in
No,
Infinity War.
it does not.
Dude.
Dude,
No,
that's
it
remember
doesn't.
how he almost falls? He goes,
It's
oh,
in this
come
scene
on!
You
right
ready?
here.
You ready?
Mr. Stark, it smells like a new car in here.
Happy trails, kid. Friday, send him home.
Yep.
Oh, come on!
Tony says, Friday, take him home.
Yeah.
And that's when the parachute deploys out of his suit. And he's like, no, whoa!
Maybe.
Sometimes Sal's wrong. Not often, though. I'll give you that.
You know, this is a lesser known fact that Howard the Duck's last name is Stark, and he's actually an alternate reality Howard Stark.
Really?
No, I made that up.
I was like, I've
It's all about the confidence level. That's all that matters.
Batman.
Everything that started with Iron Man to Endgame. Do we think Iron Man is the main character of that story?
He has the
If
most
there is
screen
one.
time.
Yeah.
I would say he's one of 2 or 3. Him, Captain America,
Captain
and
America.
Thor.
Yeah, you mean you could make the case that Captain America is the main character because he was the first. He's like kind of the heart of the whole story.
Sure.
And he does survive all the way to the end in his way, and he's like an emotional anchor.
Go
I
ahead.
still think it's the rat.
Hey, Kim.
What?
Put some elbow grease into it. Pump it.
I can do it by myself. Oh.
Do we think there's going to be a...
See? I wasn't being weird.
That's going to pop.
Is
Cover a
it?
lot of- Oh, God. Ah! Can we all agree that this film had considerably more character arc and development than Infinity War?
No.
Really?
Because the character arc and development was for Thanos in Infinity War.
Which I'm not going to argue, but
Right.
I think that this was the end of several character arcs for several characters in this film. There was a lot more character stuff. Infinity War, there was character development for one character. And this, there was character development for about 4 characters.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think it's
That's how you turn them around in one
I
sentence.
maybe he's got good comedic timing. Carl, you can make stinky.
I think they're doing a good job of setting up a lot of kids for down the road.
Yeah.
They did that. I know you haven't seen Captain Marvel, but they did that in Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the what's her face?
Photon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Have you seen Captain Marvel?
Yes, I have.
I thought you said you haven't.
No, I have. I totally have.
She showed up wearing a Carol Danvers jacket.
Listen, I've been drinking.
Thor copped my hangover hack. So when you drink too much and then you like need to look presentable and show up
there
for
we
work
go.
the next day, I braid my hair. I was like, dude.
Stormbreaker did it for him.
I was like, that's not cool. That's my thing. That's me.
Honestly, I think this film almost needs, I don't want to say 2 scorings. If you watch this film by itself, having never watched another MCU film, what would this film be versus watching it, understanding what's going on? As an end cap for this whole first decade of this Infinity War saga, if that's what we're gonna call it, I think it's a pretty solid fucking ending. I'll 8.5, 9 it. As a standalone movie, it's kind of confusing and doesn't make any sense. We can 7 it.
I would give it 8.5 as a standalone because through Scott Lang, they kind of explain a bunch.
Okay.
You've seen the movie 3 times, and it's only been out about 50 hours.
Yes. Very
Hey, Chris.
I thought it was great that they didn't take too much time to explain stuff. With Scott, that's a great point, right? Like, he's sort of the audience, right? One thing I like about these movies as a whole is that they live in service to the fans. They don't need to explain all this other stuff for people who aren't going to know about it. I'm just going to go with 9.
Kim?
So, as a...
She's like, I didn't see it.
I didn't see this movie. I've been BSing this whole time. For me, I can judge a cinematic experience based off of, like, is everybody in the room with me, like, just feeling it? And, like, we were all feeling the emotions. I'm just like, I've invested too much. I can't give it anything lower than a 9. Honestly, if I were a normie and I was watching this movie and it's kind of depressing, I would give it, like, a 6.5, 7.
That side of the room is rough.
Sal.
Hi. As an end to the MCU saga, I give it a 10. Like, as I said, the dessert to the meal.
My shortened review of this is, I laughed, I cried, I peed my pants a little. This movie was everything I wanted it to be. Yeah, top to bottom, soup to nuts. The reunion, again, nostalgia always gets its hooks in me.
Yep, it does.
I loved seeing everyone again, even if they were just CG in the background. I loved it. So I will give it, on my arbitrary scale, 2,998 Infinity Stones out of 3,000.
Is an Infinity Stone bad or good?
That's Nick's arbitrary scale.
10 out of 10 logs of
We never. Yeah. I think that's going to wrap it up, guys. 22 films, 10 years. Overall, I think we're pretty satisfied.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to the next few phases.
That was a wrap on one saga, and now it's the beginning of another saga.
Let's do it.
I'm in.
Like, subscribe, ding the bell. Yeah, ding that bell so you're notified whenever we post new content. And if you'd like to see all of us drunk or just drinking more liquid refreshments, you can donate at our coffee link down below. I guess that's it. Did I forget anything?
Good night.
Good night.